after we have passed away, the consciousness continues on and we take on another incarnation. And in that way, as we take on different incarnations, we exchange bodies continuously. And since we have done that for a very long time, probably we have a connection to all the living beings that exist. And all of them have been our friends, have been our parents, someone who was very dear to us. That is another reason why we say we cannot harm any of these beings. And so all these beings experience great suffering in their different realms, and also when we take another rebirth, again, it is possible that we take on such an incarnation of such a little creature, and therefore we say we cannot harm any of these creatures.
We've all seen the bumper sticker, coexist. What will it take for the world to coexist?
What do you mean?
What will it take? What enlightenment? What will it take in human evolution for the world to coexist?
The sambuling de la nyam do de tubia tidang mota chitaya yora va nyam do de tubia tiki yogen khare yore enda what love you sorry
te juji tatso de sambare samnyin je se yat nanchu ge nyingbo se na samnyin je cha de yore an zambal lan je ni nga zo tata chirang la pa na yin yong thoya lan ya samnyin je de zo cha de yore 대 답을 같이 당첨나 양더니 델레티네더니 ngazo 직 템보다는 참보다는 직 대사를 강화 총론로야다는 직 펜춘 가다서 대서 용론로야다 델레티니 용고 용거리.
So in Buddhism, we believe in the practice of compassion, of love and compassion. If we treat others compassionately and in a loving and kind way, and we believe that this will solve the conflicts, and so also we believe that this will solve the conflicts in the world. And if everyone would begin to be kind to each other and be compassionate towards each other, this would solve the conflicts that we experience.
Do you get angry, Gape?
Yes.
What do you get angry about?
Thing I am that the tang new mombat tangje back the tender ganza into that in number not obalatin not to take part. Shedang younger yore.
Karadena. King Karadena.
Jin da and Tamsan then Ramada Yosigava. Tamsan ta. Dokboro launa teletin hedang jegrewa chamsa je lega dukjan ro person mandek ban thona tel hedang jegre yena hedang de ta nanchule de ne hedang de yang je dukja je yin ba de munjin se tendency be tapin se yo ba.
So just like any other being, I also have negative emotions, and I do get angry sometimes. And there's various conditions that trigger the anger. Mostly it's when someone is saying something very nasty, or if someone is doing something wrong, that like a really bad mistake, then I can get angry. And also at the same time in Buddhism, we do say that we must recognize anger to be a fault, something that we need to try to rid ourselves of.
When we return, more with Gape Lama and Ina. You stay right there. Gape Lama and Ina Beeler with us from the Garchen Buddhist Institute, talking about violence in the world today. And we were talking about, Lou asked Gape if he ever got angry. My question to tag on that is, how do you handle the anger? What is your response?
Siak Tapin Rawena, the Nanchuni Tesia Yorova, Tang in Songs in a Dongape Hajan Chimbo Yobak and some Yoris. Tina Nyawa the Duku, Nyawa Latia Jotso, the Hedang Latin Lesa, Jotelatin Ateni, Nyawa Sadanga Dongana Banatsoba, Ten Yongo Yoris, Teta Lopso Yore, Teta Ungus Trova de Yore. Teniti Hedang me pataya tela, Nyawa Dongal, the Yongri, some teletic here, Nangagoni, 해당 방향 그 탑신라고 적용을
So Buddhism says that it is a strong non-virtuous action, or a negative thought to give rise to anger, and therefore we apply a method to overcome anger. And one of the methods is to think about the suffering that we experience depending on anger. It is said that there is various different types of rebirth. We call it the lower realms where one takes rebirth depending on negative actions, such as the hell realm, for example. And it is believed that the primary cause for rebirth in the hell realm, where the beings experience heat and cold primarily, is anger. Due to anger, one takes rebirth in these realms and experiences great suffering. So all of this intense suffering arises from anger. And therefore, when we contemplate the fear, when we give rise to fear of these suffering states that we can end up at, then we is kind of a method to control the anger.
Is world peace possible?
영거리 상관도 대답 롭소 때마 계속 대답 때마 망장고 유르지는 영거리 상관도 대가르리스나 인고베 좀친데 가르리스나 다다다 가서 참아하고 요리 잠발나 강아 망보도 먹고서 요리스 뭐 나니 테니 셈 그 해당 거네 라마 도차 해당도 거네 라마 텔tin 저 요리 라고 요리바 대란다 당고.
So it is certainly possible to bring about world peace, but it depends on the mindsets of the people in this world. If everyone would be able to give rise to a mind of compassion, to a mind of kindness, then all the conflict would be solved in this world. And so when we think about all the difficulties, the wars and all the conflict in the world, what is the root of this conflict? It really comes down to the negative emotions, the hatred and the desire that people have in their heart. If they would rid themselves of that and try to cultivate a mind of compassion and kindness, then we could also live in harmony.